My name is Gallien Lefevre. I'm a lawyer qualified in France, and I passed the QLTS on my first attempt. I studied in France and in China at both graduate and undergraduate levels. During my studies, I did several internships in Beijing, London, Paris, and also Hong Kong. I did my first internship with my current firm in 2009 now, and I've been working with them on a full-time basis since 2011. I now work in Hong Kong as a registered foreign lawyer. Actually, during the course of my internships, several people suggested that it would be beneficial for me to get a common law qualification. So I took the advice, and since I qualified as a lawyer in France, I've been looking at the ways I could qualify in a common law jurisdiction. I found that the QLTS offered a degree of flexibility which would allow me to continue working full-time while taking and studying for the assessments. And this is why I became interested in the QLTS. After I became interested in the QLTS, I did some research, and I found that the description of the assessments that were available did not offer much details on the practical requirements of the exam. Also, I was not very familiar with the study materials and revision materials that were available, so I figured that I needed help on two issues. First one being understand the practical requirements of the assessments, and the second one being choose and select which revision and study materials I was going to use. I looked at the offering at the time in terms of preparation, and it seemed that QLTS School was able to offer both, so I decided to give it a try. My experience of studying with QLTS School was good. The staff I dealt with was professional. The application process was swift, and the materials were shipped and delivered on time. With respect to the MCT, I think that the availability of the online question bank was very beneficial. It allowed me to understand how the MCT worked, and it also helped me understand how I should manage my time during that exam, which is undertaken in very strict time conditions. With respect to the OSCE, I think that the ability for me to get in touch with my tutor was something very beneficial. It gave meaning to my mock exams, as I was able to receive someone else's feedback on what I did, and also I was able to get in touch with my tutor regularly, and she provided me with very helpful advice as my studies progressed. On weekdays, I could generally find between 1 and 3 hours for the good days to study. I must say that in the weeks preceding the exam, I used most of my lunch breaks to revise. In the weekends, I could find more time, maybe something like 15 hours. I found it quite challenging, actually, to continue working while studying and undertaking the revision process at the same time. But overall, I think that I was able to get a study plan, follow that plan, and to cover all the subjects of the assessments. Yes, my firm was supportive of my study, and also I receive encouragements from my colleagues and even from some clients. I'm working as an associate in our firm's Hong Kong office. My work focuses on development of infrastructure projects in Asia, so we assist bidders, government entities in tendering processes and then project implementation. But I also do some general corporate work, including acquisitions, and also assist clients with general commercial contracts. I think this question is debatable. However, I think that while working full-time, it's difficult to do all the very detailed research and also contact people who pass the exam to understand more about what's going on. And I think in this respect, following a preparation will allow a candidate to focus on what is essential, which is studying and preparing for the exam. I would say that if you want to take the QLTS, don't give up. It's difficult, but it's possible to pass it. And in terms of timing, I would advise to begin studying as soon as possible, because even if it's difficult to get in the revision mood a long time before the exam, it can allow you to familiarize yourself with the contents of the textbooks and revision materials. I think it's a difficult question, but I'm not sure that a good modern lawyer will have a skill set which is very different from a good older lawyer. I think maybe for a modern lawyer, mastering technology, knowing how to use a computer, a word processor, databases is something which is quite important, but there are also some other skills which make a good lawyer, and I think that one of the skills is the ability to understand the business of your clients. And I think if you can do that, it will allow you to provide better advice to your clients and make a difference.